reporting for us. Jessica, thank you very much. I want to bring in CNN's chief political analyst, Gloria Borger, CNN's chief national affairs analyst, Casey Hunt, and CNN legal analyst, Elliot Williams. Elliot, I'll start with you. What does it tell you that the FBI actually interviewed the two top former Trump White House lawyers in this criminal investigation into the handling of classified, very sensitive documents?
You know, it's clear, Wolf, that they're the FBI is homing in on the discrepancies in the handing over of documents. They clearly, a red flag got set off somewhere between June and now, in which a number of boxes were handed over, but not the full amount. These are both. It's important to note these are both senior White House staff, but not sort of principals. Not it's not the president himself. That's where you often get the most valuable testimony you're going to get from people who work around, subject to very important, very sensitive conversations, but not the president himself. They're getting very close to the president. And this and other investigations, which we may talk about later on.
Let me follow up with Gloria right now. What sort of insight, potentially, Gloria, could these two senior officials, both lawyers in the White House, actually provide as to how the former president at the time handled these sensitive documents?
A lot of insight, because they were the president's representatives to the National Archives at the end of his term. And Patrick Philbin's role really was the middleman. If the archives felt, hey, we have some documents, but we have some other documents that are missing, they go to Philbin and say, can you help us out? Can you help us get these documents? So he would be very aware of the process. He would be also aware if the president was reluctant to hand over documents. And by the way, he and Cipollone would also be aware if there was any kind of general sense that the president's documents can be automatically declassified if that's what he wanted to do. So they can provide a lot of information.
Very, very sensitive, potentially very significant moment indeed. Casey, now that the former president of the United States and his supporters, for that matter, are demanding the release of this affidavit in connection with the search of that Florida home in Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
What is that, a political rather than a legal tactic that's ongoing right now?
Yeah, I think so. And if you look at how the former president has handled these kinds of things in the past, the way that his supporters are willing to back him up basically at every turn, you'll see that it doesn't really matter how much you give, right? You have to give and give and give, and the former president still wants more and more and more and still has problems with what has gone on. So I think this is a way for him to continue to gin up support and frankly has kind of thrown him in some ways a political lifeline, which we've talked about at length.
Yeah, very significant as well. Elliot, on Thursday, a federal judge will